There has been one big change in my life ever since the Philadelphia Eagles have won the Super Bowl, and that is nobody is talking about sports gambling anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong, sports gambling still does go on, but those closest to me typically only start betting during the football season. So after it's over, I really don't have to hear about sports betting until the next season, which is great, but I still do think that we have a problem with online sports betting.
You see, for the past football season, it's estimated that around 73.5 Americans gambled on the season. And it's safe to assume that a majority of these people that gambled on the season made those bets on online sports gambling sites. Now, the crazy thing about this is that there's roughly only around 270 million adults in America, which means that almost 30% of the population gambled on football this year. And that's just for one football season. And this doesn't include basketball, baseball, soccer, volleyball. That's all the sports at my local sports complex, but you get it. 30% of people just gambled on one sport, not all of them. And 30% I would say is on the low end because there's other factors that aren't included when calculating this number. Like the adults in America that don't have internet. Now in 2024, it can't be that many, but it's still something that you should factor in when looking at this. Or what about the adults that are incarcerated and can't use any kind of devices in order to actually place any online bets? Or the fact that online gambling is only legal in 38 states, which means that now that 270 million adult population is getting smaller and smaller that can actually place bets. Now, since I am a betting man, I would say that that number is closer to actually only 200 million people that can actually do online sports betting. So instead of it being 30%, I would bet that it's around 50% of the adult population sports bet online last year. Now, of these 73.5 million people, how much do they actually gamble? Well, in 2024, it was around $147.91 billion wagered. And of course, this is only for the sports betting side of gambling. Now, how much of that entire amount was actually gambled online? Well, it was... Where's it at? It was almost 95% of the total amount wagered for sports betting was done online. So by allowing people to gamble online, it's easy to see that there's a huge impact. And in my opinion, there's a huge problem. Because let me tell you a little secret. You're not supposed to win gambling, which shows in the huge revenue spike from 2020 all the way to 2024, where in 2020 there was just only around $1.5 billion in revenue, and now in 2024 there's almost $14 billion in revenue. So it shows with gambling, there's not always more winners, but there always is going to be more losers the more people that are gambling. Which shows that by allowing online gambling more and more in different states, it allows for more and more losers in gambling, which is shown by the huge spike in revenue from 1.5 billion to 14 billion in just a mere 4 years. So we can connect the dots that with more people allowed to gamble, there's more losers, but there's not really any more winners.
Now, the one thing that drives me crazy though is when I ask people who gamble online how much money they have lost, they all say the exact same thing. They say, oh, I haven't lost any money, I'm actually even, or they say, no, I'm actually up a little bit money on the year. And it's literally everyone that I ask answers that way, which is crazy because if the casino's revenue is up so big in the past 4 years, then how is everyone either up or they're even against the casino? I mean, it begs the question, is somebody lying here? And the answer is yes, somebody is lying. And it's obviously not the casino, it's the people betting on the casino's online sports betting apps, because nobody is up and nobody is even. They are all losing and they just won't admit it.
You see, since it's so easy for somebody to lie to family members, friends, or just acquaintances about if they've won or lost money gambling, then it makes it easier for somebody to keep gambling. This is because even if they have lost and they've lost a significant amount, there's no real public opinion about them because everyone just thinks they're either up or even because that's what they told them. And there's no possible way for them to actually find out truly unless they take the person's phone or log in through their computer and look at their accounts personally. So you see, if somebody does have a problem gambling, and more specifically losing in gambling, then that person will continue to keep gambling, creating a bigger problem for themselves in order to win back the money that they've lost. And nobody is there to shame them or tell them otherwise. And I know if you are somebody who does sports bet on one of these apps or one of the 1,000 other apps, you are probably sitting there right now thinking to yourself, that's not me, I'm a winner. And that just means that not only are you lying to all of the people around you, but you're also lying to yourself. Because if you just do a quick Google search, you will see that there was a study done that showed that 95% of people lost money sports betting. So I guess not everyone sitting there is lying to themselves or lying to those around them, but about 95% of you are. And I'll take my odds on saying that you are one of those 95%. So what can we do to fix the current problem we have? Now, first and foremost, everyone's going to say, just get rid of gambling. But obviously that's not going to happen, and I myself am not even opposed to gambling, but I am aware of how addicting and life-altering it can become, especially if nobody even knows about your problem till the very end. You always hear those stories of, oh, I never knew, or oh, I didn't think that he had a problem at all. So my proposal to fix the problem the best we can is to allow for public shaming. So we should allow for everybody to be able to see how much a person has lost or won thus far. And this is really simple and easy to do because you see these online sports betting sites gather everyone's information, and one of the main things is a phone number. So what we do is we create an app or something online where we use the person's phone number, and we can look that up to see how much they've either won or lost. And typically when you look up that person's phone number, you're going to see that they've lost. And by being able to look up somebody's earnings or losses through their phone number, I think that it will have a huge effect because now it will be in the public eye. So now when you're with friends or family and you ask someone in the group who does do online sports betting, how much have they lost? And they say that they are either even or they are up. You can look back at them and say, oh, well, why don't we just take a look online then? Your number is right? Okay. Well, it says here that you're actually down $5,000 on the year, which is crazy because, every time that we go out to eat or we go out for drinks, I feel bad because I see you working so hard for all of this money just so that you can pay your bills to survive. So then I go out of my way and pay for your dinner or pay for your drinks. But it's not because you don't have any money because you paid all of your bills, but it's because you lost all of your money sports gambling. And more specifically, sports gambling on the Cleveland Browns. What are you, a loser? They suck. Why would you lose $5,000 on them? Oh, it's because you're a die-hard fan? No, more like you're a loser.
And you see, I think by being able to see this information so that you can have these conversations, it will have an overall effect on people's gambling tendencies. Because people tend to care more about what others think of them, rather than winning a $12 three-leg parlay to see if Patrick Mahomes can throw for 400 yards, Travis Kelce can have 4 receptions, and the Lions coach is amped up on the sidelines yelling at everyone. It doesn't matter if they win or lose, it matters more if people care about them. And if you do lose, people will call you out on it and say you are the worst bettor in the world and you're an idiot and why do you keep gambling?
So, yes, I do believe that we have a problem with online sports betting. More and more people are gambling and more people are losing. And if we continue to let things keep going the way that they are, I think that things will get completely out of hand and fast. So I think the best way to combat all of this is with public shaming. Tie those earnings to people's phone numbers and let the public see how much they've won and lost. That way, those who do online sports betting will think twice about making a bet and if it's something that they truly need to do, or if they can just finally save that $20. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that episode. I do think there is a problem with sports betting at the moment. Again, I'm not against gambling. I just think that there's a lot of people losing and they're not even being honest to anyone that they are losing or honest to themselves, which can create a huge problem and something needs to be done about it. Anyways, thanks for watching and I'll catch you later.